Hi, and welcome along to the Biased Premier League show with my man. He ain't here. Where is he, man? What's up with this guy?
Hello, boys and girls.
You're not Troops.
No. You got the better version this week.
The White Troops. Troops not here today, but I've got my man DT, who's very kindly said he was standing.
Yeah,
and you know what? And just before your operation.
Yeah, tomorrow, man.
Tomorrow?
Yeah, tomorrow.
That's dedication, man. I love that, man.
Dedication.
Respect. Respect, man.
Because you're paying me well.
If that's what you're relying on, you better go quickly to your operation right now.
I'm going.
But you know the drill on the Biased Premier League show, yeah?
Yeah.
You go through the games.
I've got to say blood and fam a load of times. I've got to make some ham rolls. And yeah, say in it a few times and you get me. That's pretty much it. Make you laugh.
He simplifies things, doesn't he? Listen, we're going to get into the games. We're going to take a look at the games from the weekend. First of all, starting off with our game, we beat, of course, Southampton by 3-2. Mm-hmm. That could be fatal to them, by the way. That could be good by Southampton. You know what I mean? Because I was looking at their running. You know what I mean? It's not easy, and you know. They put up a good fight. You could see that was a team fighting for their lives. Yeah. I suppose if they play like that from now till the end of the season, they've got a chance of staying up. But Arsenal ultimately came out on top, and Danny Welbeck.
Yeah, fair play to him. Put a performance in. He's been putting a few good performances in. You think of the Milan games in the Europa. You know, the Stoke game, he wasn't that good. But this one, he stepped up. And I said it to you when we done our interview that the thing that impressed me was he didn't let the miss 5 minutes before he scored the winner affect him. Yeah. Because
he didn't hide, did he?
No, it's easy to say, but it was very Danny Welbeck-like, the miss. You know, he's become...
I was trying to defend him and everything, right?
Come on, man.
You know, right, with fans yesterday, I was saying, no, I think the bounce and then I said, this morning I looked at the replay, I was like, oh, Danny.
It's one of them
You're supposed to bury that. He mistimed it a bit.
He did, and that's the problem.
He got in ahead of it.
What have I always said to you about Danny Welbeck? His build-up play is right up there. He's so powerful, pace, quick, everything. But then the moment he gets in front of goal, he turns into Bambi on ice.
It's just a, you know what it is with Danny Welbeck, right? He just lacks a little bit of composure sometimes, right?
He snatches at everything.
Yeah, but I say it as I said it yesterday, I think he's a very good player to have in that Arsenal squad because, you know, now I look at the strike force with Aubameyang, Lacazette, and then you've got Danny Welbeck. If any of those two are injured, you've got Welbeck. I think he's a very he can go out on the left-hand side, he can go out on the right-hand side.
He's an effective squad player.
Yeah, definitely. He's not your main man.
No, he's never going to be the main man.
But he's a good player to have in the squad, definitely.
Well, you know, you said that, and that is the argument for it. He is a good squad player, but it's, you know, he's never going to be the player that takes you to the next level. And if we were sitting here now going, we've only got Giroud, Welbeck, then we could be sitting there going, this just isn't right, this is not, you know what I mean? But now we've got Lacazette, now we've got Aubameyang, we can sit there and go,
Aubameyang 6 goals in 7 games.
And it could have been 7 in 7 if he scored the penalty.
And remember, he gave up that penalty, so it could have been a perfect 7 in 7.
8 in 7. Scored the penalty against Man City that he missed.
Yeah. And, you know,
it's the best start to an Arsenal career, like,
as a striker ever. And, you know, there was some people doubting this guy when he came in. He's a world-class player. I said it right from the beginning. You know what? Sometimes maybe it's because at international level he plays for Gabon, so people don't give him the full respect he deserves. But this guy's been scoring, you know, 40 goals plus. In seasons in Germany. People were there saying, oh yeah, but it's the Bundesliga. What are you talking about? The guy's a quality player. He's scored goals at the highest level and he's proving it yet again.
And do you know what I like is the fact that he's playing in a team that's not clicking and has got clear problems. And also when I look at him and I see him play, I still don't think he's anywhere near 100% yet.
No.
I don't think he's had any kind of rhythm to his career so far because, you know, when he first came here, he was supposedly ill. when he came over, if you remember, and that's why he missed the court case in Germany and he was ill. And then obviously he's got to try and adapt to a new country. He's living out of bags basically because he's in a hotel. So he hasn't.
Boo-hoo! I don't think he's exactly living out of a.
No, you know what I mean.
Sleeping on the street, is he?
No, he's not exactly. Plus, you see the hotel he's actually been in. It was, I wouldn't mind that. But obviously,
he's not settled yet.
No,
as you're trying to say.
You've got to remember as well. He's got a wife. He's got kids. He's got 2 kids. So they've got to come over here. They've got to get used to a whole new life, and they're going to have to find schools and other things as well. So. It's a big transition, and that's why a lot of foreign players do take time to adapt. And when we signed him in January, I said, you know what, this season's kind of the remainder of the season's a freebie for him because he can't play in the Europa. We've got nothing to play for in the Premier League, so he can just start to adapt himself to the Premier League, and then he goes fully at it next season. But he's already taken to it like a duck to water.
Yeah, he's quality. I really like him, and I think he's going to be a fan's favourite. He really seems to embrace the whole fans of Arsenal and stuff like that.
He did, because he embraced me when I decided to try and get on his lap and lean in his car.
When he could have run you over. Or should have maybe.
You know what the thing is, right? Because a lot of people seem to think that I was waiting outside the training ground for him, right? Let me just clear one.
Right?
No, because it was match day. I was on my way to the game. I was with Lee. And he drove past us, and he was in his red Ferrari, and I was like, Spamyang. And it was like, and as we come off the motorway, and we're going towards Holloway Roadway, we was about 4 cars or so behind him, and I turned around and said to Lee, I said, listen, if we get directly behind him or next to him, and the lights are red, I'm getting out of the car and I'm getting a photo with him. And literally 2 minutes or so later, we got caught up in this bit of traffic, and I was directly behind him. And we just jumped out like a bunch of little kids.
He must have thought, these men are following me, man, boy. These men are coming to rob me or something, you know what I mean? You can imagine him driving here, right? He's looking, he's thinking, boy.
Left-hand drive. Left-hand drive.
Yeah, he's thinking, these men look dodgy, man. They've been following me. Boy, I've heard about in London what's been going on recently. No,
but
and then you look caught up with him in a traffic jam. You must be thinking, oh no.
No, but you know what? We was respectful as well, though, right? And he had one of his boys in the car, and he was cool. And it was like we just said to him, look, apologise for knocking on your window and stuff, but please, can we just get a photo and stuff? And he was just like, no problem at all. And he was so fine. And Lee was there like the typical outside the car window selfie, which is, where you actually stay outside the window. But me, I was like, yo, Pierre, you want to come here? And I'm like, I'm diving in the car, I'm nearly on his lap and everything. But you know what?
And he must be like, let me put my foot down and just run this guy over.
Man was like, yeah, he was sound, he was safe. And I turned around and I said to him, I said, listen, keep scoring goals and doing what you're doing, man. I said, we all love you already, man. And he was just like, thank you so much. Shook my hand, and he went about his business.
A bit like what you used to say to Alexis. Or saying
shut your mouth, man. I don't hang around barbershops waiting to take a selfie with him, yeah? You know what I mean?
I knew you'd go and start that.
Yeah.
Right, listen. El Neni in the game, did he deserve to get sent off?
If he deserves to get sent off, then so does Bertrand.
No, but he pushed the man in the face.
But
it's
Bertrand
stupid.
Went and pushed him 2 seconds after in the same incident.
Bertrand sort of pushed him like, why is it? I was at the game and I was thinking, why's El Neni been sent off? What's he done? Because he's not normally that type of character, is he?
No, he isn't.
But then when I saw it now, I was like, what stupidity. Yeah. You're going to get an unnecessary 3-game ban now.
I think we're appealing it.
What? Appealing what? He's not going to get off of that. He pushed the guy in the face. You're not allowed to put your hands up there. Every player knows that.
I think it was more, he went to push him in the chest and his hands slipped upwards.
But you sound like Wenger now, right? Listen, there's no point in appealing that. You'll end up getting 4 games, right? Because sometimes if you try and appeal something and they're
frivolous, isn't it?
Frivolous, taking a mick appeal.
They're just... big word there.
Yeah, that was for you. Yeah. That was big, man. That was big. Look, all right, let's move on to the next game. That was a great win for Arsenal. Yeah. What's happened to Chelsea? We could catch Chelsea. We're only 3 points behind them now. Yeah. What has happened? Last year, the champions of England, they'd done it in style. They were blowing teams away. They were brilliant. This season, Chelsea have been dreadful. You know, I must admit, watching the game, they had loads of chances to win it. To be fair to them, they had loads of chances. Didn't. Chicharito pops up at the end and scores. But
isn't it ironic that
Joe Hart, by the way, in that game,
he
pulled off a great save from Giroud.
Do you not think it's ironic that Giroud goes to Chelsea and they start getting the same problems we have? Loads of chances, can't score. You know, but no, you said it. They had loads of chances. I'm hearing rumours today a lot that Conte's been sacked.
Yeah?
Yeah, a lot of.
What, for the end of the season?
Now, like with immediate effect, and it's going to break any time. So it might happen while we're in the middle of recording this.
Well, there's no point in sacking him now because they still got the FA Cup. They still got the FA Cup to play for. But Ashby Aqueta said in the game, he goes, the FA Cup won't save their season, he said.
Well, there you go, because they ain't got the same mentality as some Arsenal fans. Sorry, but
that's a player who said that. A player, not the fans.
But this is the be-all and end-all, right?
What are you blaming the fans
for? This is very simple. This is very, very simple, okay? That Chelsea have gone from champions to wherever they're going to finish, which is definitely outside the top 4, 5th, 6th, maybe even 7th if they carry on free-falling. And what they'll do at the end of the season is they'll rectify that. And they'll get a new manager in, possibly Allegri. You know,
yeah, but you know what?
They probably because they don't accept the failure. They're not accepting it, and this is the problem. We win the FA Cup and award Arsene Wenger a new contract, and I'm not going to get into this because this is not what we're here to talk about.
But does Conte deserve the sack though? If you win the league the season before,
I don't think he does.
Because have they treated that guy right? I mean,
no,
something's been wrong all season, haven't they?
I don't think that they have, but at the same time, I think it's a bit rich Chelsea fans having a go at Roman Abramovich because if it wasn't for him, you wouldn't have a stadium. Because you were about to sell Stamford Bridge when Ken Bates was owning it, you'd be a League 2 side now. So don't sit there and start moaning about Abramovich. But, you know, we've got friends that are Chelsea fans and they've said that Conte has really been let down in the transfer market.
I mean, you've got to say Chelsea's model, even though people criticise it, it has worked over the years because they got the titles to show. Yeah. But they've thrown a lot of money at it. And is it fair on a guy? He won the title last season.
I don't think it is.
And then to get sacked this season because, all right, I know it's been a bad season, they could still win the FA Cup. I think to save the, obviously not going to save this, but it will salvage something out of it. A bit like I don't think anybody at Arsenal thought our season's been saved by the FA Cup. Well, there was some people, deluded people, but I think you salvage something out of the season. If we was to win the Europa League this season, that hasn't not saved the season, but that's salvaged something. The difference salvage something out of the season.
The difference is that Europa League gets you to the Holy Grail.
Champions League, yeah.
Whereas the FA Cup just gets you.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Chelsea have had no Champions League.
Exactly, they've got no fallback. Whereas we're sitting there going, we can actually go, forget the league. Don't worry about it. Doesn't matter. Don't care where we finish. Let's just. Whereas Chelsea are just literally going through the motions and going, what do? We've got no fallback. Whereas we have. You know, so they ain't going to catch Spurs.
And West Ham should be safe now, isn't it? More or less.
I wouldn't say
they're not safe, but
they're not safe. You know what? There's going to be some serious twists and turns. You think about it, the titles. It's going to be Man City's.
Well, hold on before we move to.
I know, but top 4 will be. What I'm saying is that the
top 4 sorted.
The bottom of the table is where I think we're going to get the excitement this year.
Yeah, definitely. Now, talking of titles, City. All lined up to win the title, beat your deadliest rivals, and you win the title. 2-0 up at half-time. Should have been about 4-5, as Sterling missed some gilt-edged chances. Yeah. People talking about Danny Welbeck. I mean, some of the chances he missed.
Some shockers.
Right, and then United come out in the second half. The guy that's been criticised a lot and has been subject to a lot of speculation, etc. Paul Pogba. Pops up with 2 great goals, 2 great finishes. Sanchez, by the way, played really well in that game. I don't know. He's poor in the yes, he was watching it. So he's poor in the first half, Sanchez, but in the second half, vintage Sanchez. I think he set up all 3 goals, didn't he? All 3 of them assists.
They were miss-hits.
That's why they call it the Bias Premier League show, right? And listen,
do you want me to tell you?
Sanchez done well.
Do you want me to tell the truth? Yeah. I was watching the game. First half, I was watching it, and I was sitting there like, let's get these tweets ready. And I was there, and it went a half time and everything else. So I was like, yes, lovely, jubbly. And I was like, could be more, should be more. I was like, but it's cool, Man City are going to smash it. And I actually got up, went to the kitchen, go make a cup of coffee. All right. Don't know why I didn't make it at half time. I was talking to my son. We was talking about the game and everything else, and I ended up going in, just after half time. And I literally went in the kitchen, waited for the kettle to boil, sorted my coffee out, walked in, sat down, looked at the telly, and I nearly spat my drink everywhere, and it was 2-2. And I was like, what the hell has happened here? And I had to actually rewind it to see what had happened. And then I nearly spat my drink out again when I realised Pogba had scored. And I was just like, what has happened? And then when they got the third, I was just like, oh my God, I think I might
City
need to log
threw
out
that game away. And it must have been sweet for Man United fans because, even when City do win the title, they can still turn around and say, well, yeah, but you didn't do it beating us. You all thought that you had it done and you didn't.
No.
And, if you was a United fan on Saturday, that must have been so sweet.
It just delays the inevitable.
It delays the inevitable, but come on. If that had been Tottenham and we did that, I'd be lauding it up. No. I'm not about winning the title.
I know what you mean.
Not even stopping them, but like making sure that it's not done on...
If you look at it, when we won the league at Tottenham in 2004, when they scored in the 90th minute from the penalty, they actually thought they'd stopped us. They thought a draw was enough. And you see Robbie Keane running off, doing his cartwheel, then the gunshot celebration. And Henry had the famous interview when he said to Tarico in the centre circle, and he went, why are you celebrating? We only needed a draw. You celebrate now, when that whistle goes, I'm celebrating.
And they weren't supposed to celebrate, were they? The police
when
told them
Henry
not to.
saw that, he went, nah, we're going to go and celebrate with our fans. So and then obviously to compound it, Man City should have had a penalty and a red card for Ashley Young.
What's these referees? Now, come on. Even in real time,
his studs were up here, just below the knee.
Even in real time, I'm like, that's a pen, right? Yeah. And then when I saw the the replay and see that he nearly decapitated, and he took the man's leg off, I was like, what's these referees? What are they watching?
I don't know. And then, if that would have gone in, then we could have very easily had another Aguero moment. And then, De Gea.
And then again, Sterling had another chance at the end.
Just hit him and hit the post. And
it just weren't there.
And then you see the save from De Gea as well.
Brilliant save. He's unbelievable.
I said it the other day. I would love to know the statistics of how many points he's won Manchester United this season. And I know he's part of the 11 and he's a player. But I feel that he's performed, like superhuman at times.
No,
you only have to go to our game against him. And it was just superb.
We moved from one fantastic derby, brilliant. I really enjoyed that game, Man City, Man United, to one of the deadest games. One of the games of the most least quality games I've seen for a long time. Everton versus Liverpool, 0-0. What a dead game. Yeah. Liverpool made loads of changes. Obviously, they've got the game tomorrow night against City in mind, so they left out, and Salah had a little injury and stuff like that. They left out Firmino, all that. This was a chance for Everton.
Yeah, big chance. But it was poor.
Rubbish.
I nearly went off and painted one of my walls and watched it.
You see Rooney when he come off?
Oh, he was fuming.
Rooney was fuming.
Apparently Allardyce has said he ain't got the legs anymore. Because he took him off the week before at virtually the same time against Man City. And apparently he ain't got the legs. But Rooney was livid.
I mean, a derby like that, and he would have got loads of stick coming off from the Liverpool fans. And you've got to remember, he's a local boy. Yeah, that must have hurt him a lot.
So that would have been a bit.
Yeah.
He's waited since.
Dreadful game, man. Dreadful
he was
game.
17, 18 before he'd left to Manchester United. So he's waited all that time to be involved in one of these again. I know he played the FA Cup game that they had recently and stuff, but this was at Goodison, the first one back at Goodison.
Everton still ain't beaten Liverpool.
No. And that was their biggest chance to do it.
Biggest chance. They're not going to.
And do you know what? I think, judging by a lot of Liverpool fans, they actually didn't care if they'd
Well,
lost.
they're all focused on tomorrow night. But
I know they would
Liverpool,
care, but
Everton,
but the game
dreadful.
just didn't seem to really bother. It was like we've got a bigger focus.
Awful derby. Bournemouth 2, Crystal Palace 2. Bournemouth equalising right at the end. That would have been a massive win for Palace.
Bournemouth again, they keep scoring in the last minute.
Yeah.
And all these points they're picking up could be what saves them in the Premier League.
I was watching that game, right, and I was laughing. I had a big, I was going to say argument, but little argument with Lee Gunner on Friday. I told him about Zaha. He's telling me he don't rate him. Did you see the goal he scored?
He done a little twist in front of them.
Would you have him at Arsenal, Zaha? I would.
I think
I'd have him on that left-hand side.
The problem with Zaha is that he's too inconsistent.
But,
and then we've already got
he's not that inconsistent.
No,
he does it week in, week out.
He doesn't do it week in, week out. He's very.
He does.
You know what? I would put him in the same kind of brackets as your Danny Welbecks and Alex Iwobis.
No. He's better than him. He's better than those two. He's quality. I rate him, man. I think if he's playing at a better... I know he went to United and it didn't quite work out, but I think that came too early for him. But this guy is an excellent player. And for me, I would love to see him.
Where would he get in our team? In our starting
Put him on the left-hand side.
But ain't that where Mkhitaryan's been playing?
Mkhitaryan's been playing on the right-hand side.
He's been drifting.
We'll drift back over onto the right. Let Zaha play on the left.
You have...
Aubameyang down the middle.
Well, where's Lacazette going to go then?
Well, or that's if we're playing that formation with three.
Oh, you forgot about it.
No. If we're
I would rather have Aubameyang out on the left.
If we're playing
in the middle,
we're playing a formation with a three, which is what we seem to play most of the time. I want to have we lack width. We lack
width, big time.
A guy like Zaha is perfect for that. He can come in. He can go out wide. He's tricky. He brings different. You're going to have two guys marking that guy. He's a player.
I don't know.
If he was
Put
like
it to a poll.
If he was like, some player from Spain or something, everybody would be like, oh. Zaha or Brazilian, Zahardinho or something like that. Everybody would be, I rate him.
Do you know I had everyone calling me Ditinho?
Ditinho.
After I wore that Brazil shirt the other week.
Yeah.
I love that nickname, Ditinho. I was like, oi! It's my Brazilian ancestry. It's like, yes.
Oh, you got no Brazilian ancestry, trust me.
You see my skills?
Yeah. Huh?
Yeah.
Exactly. No. Right. Brighton 1, Huddersfield 1. Again, that a big mistake in the game by the Brighton player got Huddersfield back in, but decent point for Huddersfield. I didn't think they'd get anything out of that game.
It was an own goal for Brighton, wasn't it? It was the Huddersfield goalkeeper that got the own goal, but it was Brighton that had the man sent off, proper. Sent off. He got proper sent off.
Yeah. What was he doing?
It was ridiculous. I just think I would say before the game, Huddersfield would have took a point, but looking on it in reflection, playing nearly the last 20 minutes against 10 men, they probably, they may
I think it's a good point. They might survive in Huddersfield.
Yeah,
if they do,
I hope they do.
If they do, that's a miracle. Remember, they ain't really buying no one really. You know what I mean?
Last year when they were in the Championship, they were everyone's bets to be relegated.
Yeah.
So to get up, and then obviously when
what
they come
about him
into
at
the
Arsenal,
Premier
their
League,
coach?
Oh, that's too big a jump. It is too big a jump.
He plays good football, though.
I know he plays good football and that, but listen.
Mini Klopp, he's second to Klopp, isn't he?
Yeah, but what's Klopp won? Until Klopp's won stuff at Liverpool, then
they're doing too bad at the moment.
I know they're not doing too bad, but at the end of the day, if they finish this season with 0 trophies, then what have they got to show for their season apart from Salah and his goals?
Okay.
Sorry, but I'd rather win trophies than players score 40 goals. If you give me the option, my striker score 40 odd goals in a season, or take 20 of them off him, give them to a load of other players, scatter them around, and you win the title. What would you choose?
No.
There you go.
Leicester 1, Newcastle 2.
Huge.
Big win for Newcastle. Safe now, aren't they?
Well, I think that's a good result for us.
What, going there this weekend?
Going to Newcastle.
Well, you think they're going to ease up because of that?
They might take their foot off the gas a little bit.
You think they're going to ease up because of that?
Yeah, well, they might do.
That's going to be a tough game for Arsenal, especially after Europa League.
Yeah, it will be.
Listen, Newcastle and
Shelvey.
John Joe Shelvey. Should a lot of people saying, forget Jack Wilshere, he's the guy should be in it.
No.
A lot of people saying that.
Yeah, a lot of people, not me. No.
No, take your Arsenal hat off for a minute. The way he's playing at the moment, John Joe Shelvey. He's doing bits, man.
No.
No?
No. Blood.
He's been playing all right.
Sorry, fam. No. It's not happening. Not ahead of Wilshere. No, sorry.
But he's been playing well.
Yeah, he's been playing well. He's been playing well. You know what? That result, I think that's quite a bad result for Leicester in a way because they were trying to hunt down Burnley, and they had
Leicester,
an outside chance of being in that mix for top 6. You know, if
it's a surprise result.
If ourselves decide, you know, we're just going to really fall apart in the Premier League and we're in the Europa League and whatnot, then it opens the door for Burnley and Leicester.
Did you see the finish by Jose Perez in that game?
Sick.
Oh, gosh, man, that was a wicked goal. Stoke won. Who did you want to win this game? Stoke 1, Tottenham 2.
No one. I wanted the game called off.
Stoke are down, isn't it? They're going, man. They're going.
I'm gutted about
2
that.
goals. Ericsson this season. Christian Eriksen for Tottenham.
He never scored 2 goals, though, apparently.
Well, they're trying to give that goal to Harry Kane.
Tonight, just before I come here, it was on Sky Sports breaking news. Tottenham have appealed.
Yeah, they've appealed. They're trying to get the goal for Harry Kane. Now that's desperado. They're trying to beat the Salah.
Are they that desperate for a trophy that they're trying to get Harry Kane a goal? Seriously, is that how bad it is? You know, you go to Tottenham's training ground and they have a trophy cabinet, and what's in it? Harry Kane's boot from scoring 100 Premier League goals. Small club. And that's for Stoke. Get in the Championship where you belong. Enjoy your games against Harlequins and Saracens next season. Mugs. There's your biased Premier League show.
Oh, my God. This is why we don't normally have him on it. We're biased, but Jesus. All right. Watford 1, Burnley 2. Burnley, man.
Doing bits.
Sean Dyche for Arsenal. Look at what he's done with Burnley.
I know he's done really well. And you know what? Like I've said to you, I've told you this story before. I've had a little boogie on the dance floor with Sean Dyche. You know what I mean? At that FIFA Awards, the after party, man was boogieing away, man, and I'm there just jamming next to Sean Dyche, like, yeah, with the 80s grooves on, man, like, yeah, ain't no stopping us now. And there's me and Sean Dyche, just like, what a surreal moment, just dancing. But no, do you know what? He's done an unbelievable job at Burnley.
Brilliant.
But the problem is, right, is that you get these scenarios. You remember David Moyes when he was at Everton, and I know it was more of a consistent period with David Moyes, but the moment they make that step to the big, you know, the holy grail, the top sides, it just seems to fall apart.
But Sean Dyche, well, again, I'm going to use it was I don't know, Portuguese or Spanish. Everybody be saying he deserves a bigger job now.
Dychinio.
He deserves Dychinio or or Dyches or something like that, right?
Jesus Christ.
There'd be a lot of people out there saying he deserves a bigger job at a bigger club.
I know.
Why can't these English managers, right, when they're doing well, this is Burnley, man.
Listen. Outside
come on, look at the players they've got.
Outside of the top 6, they are the biggest club in the Premier League right now by position-wise. So why would he go, apart from the top 6, why would he go to anyone else?
Why can't he go Chelsea? Why couldn't he go Arsenal? You moan about the defence, he'll sort it out.
Yeah, but it's the other end.
Aubameyang and guys like that will do their bits, and then Dyche takes care of the defence.
Maybe it's the fact that I've been stuck with Arsene Wenger for so long. I just want a big name. I want to just something that excites me again, something that gets me like, yeah, let's do this. You know what I mean? It's just like if a little yellow bar comes across the screen and it's like, Sean Dyche has been appointed Arsenal manager, I wouldn't really be going, yay, let's make a YouTube video about it. I'd be it'd be underwhelming, shall we say. But that's no, disrespect to him, because what he's done is an amazing job. And, I suppose if he did take over the manager's job, I could say at least I've danced with the Arsenal manager. You
ain't going to dance with Wenger, that's for sure.
Yeah.
He'd have bouncers throwing
Dance
you out.
with the devil.
He'd be using your head to open the doors. Right, West Brom 1, Swansea 1.
Bad result for Swansea, because West Brom are down.
Well, West Brom are winning.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is, you look at that, West Brom are down, doesn't matter what they're going to do, they're down. They're boinging all the way to the Championship.
Kieran Gibbs could be in the Championship next season, man.
Well, he was on the bench for us, so it's no different, really.
Yeah, but he's better than the Championship, isn't he?
It's what it is. He decided to go.
As a matter of fact, when you look at West Brom, that's what I'm saying, right? Look at West Brom's team. They've got some good players in that team.
Mismanagement.
Right? And then you look at teams like Huddersfield, who spent hardly anything. Brighton,
mismanagement.
who spent hardly anything. You know what I mean?
Mismanagement. That's what it is, Robbie. It's
even Swansea.
Before the start of the season, it's mismanagement. Total mismanagement. Even when you went to the January transfer window, everybody knew that West Brom's biggest problem was scoring goals. They took an almighty gamble on Sturridge. They basically gambled their Premier League status on someone who's consistently injured. And they didn't even double that up with like a backup to it. You could have turned around, because I heard that they were in for Troy Deeney, and they were looking to get him. Now, if they would have got Troy and then Daniel Sturridge, you could say, all right, well, they could play off each other. You remember when Deeney had that great season in the Premier League with N'Golo that was playing off in the large thing. So that kind of thing could have worked. And then if Sturridge gets injured, you still got the other option. Sturridge gets injured in the first couple of minutes on his debut, done, finished.
Yeah, and the other thing about West Brom is that with them going down, they might have a fire sale. Now, let me give you two players, right? That these players apparently got release clauses in their contract that if West Bromwich Albion drop to the Championship, they can be sold for very, very cheap. Yeah. I'm going to give you two players.
I know one of
Would you have these players at Arsenal? So the first one, of course, is Johnny Evans, right? Defender. We were after him in the January transfer window. He'll be very cheap, about 3 million, I think they said.
I heard he's 5 million, and it's 2.5 million a year,
right?
Over 2 years.
Would you take it?
If we signed,
may as well, innit?
Right, what I'll say is, if he's our only signing, no. That's just absolutely pathetic. If we went out there and made a statement by getting a Manolas, Koulibaly, something like that, and then added Johnny Evans to it, you could say, okay, right, cool. That's two.
He's not going to want to play like go there and just be on the bench, don't he?
Well, we don't know the situation with Mustafi. He was nearly sold in the summer, so is he going to be shipped out again? Or what's that situation? Lauren Koscielny showed this season that he can't play every week now. And he's getting no younger, so how many more years has he got left in him? Maybe another season?
So as a backup, you think that'd be a good option?
Especially
how cheap he'd be?
Because he's cheap, because he's got the Premier League experience, he knows about winning because of his time at Manchester United. Just don't let him near a taxi in McDonald's. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, that's true. Imagine they did all that as well when they were on their way down. There's one other player as well that could go on the cheap, and that's Salomon Rondon. Another player would be allowed to leave on the cheap.
You're going to ask me if we'd sign him?
Would you have him?
No. I wouldn't even have him on FIFA.
I think he's a good little player, man.
I'm going. See you later.
Listen. As a squad, obviously we've got Aubameyang, we've got Lacazette, right? But as a plan B, as another option, especially like now we've got rid of Giroud and that. I think that this guy, Rondon, no.
I'll give you the plan B.
I'd have.
Do you want me to tell you the plan B? Get plan A right first.
Yeah, we know all that.
Or here's the other plan B.
If I suppose there's injuries and things
like that.
Here's
the other plan B.
I think Rondon.
Do you want to know the
on
other
the
plan
cheap?
B?
Rondon.
Do you want to know the other plan B?
What?
Go and buy Giroud back for £8 million because he's only got a year left on his contract now.
Giroud's Giroud's done. That's past. That's in the past now.
$8 million. You know what I mean?
No, but Giroud's in the past now. But I'm saying Salomon Rondon. I think in a better team, I think he's a decent player. I think.
Can you imagine if Lacazette and Aubameyang were injured, and we've got Rondon up front? No.
Listen, on the cheap. On the cheap, I'm telling you,
You're lucky Troops ain't here because he'd be giving you the hand roll.
Listen, he's got a release. Before anyone gets it twisted, I'm not talking about him as a main striker. We know that. But I'm saying he would be available cheap. Yeah? You tell me another sort of backup striker in that if you had like a guy like Rondon. I think that'd be cheap.
No?
I'd have him.
Good for you. Probably the only one who would.
All right, I think, if you watch the Premier League week in, week out, I think that guy's a decent striker. He's a decent striker, not prolific, but as a backup striker, as a guy who can,
got too many...
and also a guy that people can play off and that, and his hold-up play, his strength, his power.
Lacazette can do all that.
If suppose I'm just talking about squads, how many times have we seen Arsenal in the past? Couple players get injured and we're down to our bare bones. There's no backup. Rondon as a third striker or a fourth striker in that squad. Why not?
No.
Okay. Right, we're gonna get into the ham roll. Well, actually, we're not doing ham roll of the week, are we? Because Troops is not here. We're not doing it. What are you doing? What have you decided to do?
Mug of the week.
So it's mug of the week. He's even got a Union Jack mug.
Brexit means Brexit. This is his mug, by the way, not mine. I'm telling you now. You know what? I can see people taking still images of this and being like, Brexit, yeah. You know what I mean?
Why do people always think you call you his Brexit?
I think it's the tattoos and everything else, maybe. I don't know. Jesus Christ.
Right, mug of the week.
Yes, mug of the week.
Mug of the week. Candidates for mug of the week.
Only one.
Who's that?
Raheem Sterling. I was going to give
it to... You could get a referee in the game.
I was going to give it...
The referee in the game, you could go.
You got any more mugs? You give Troops a whole tower of hand rolls. Give me a load of mugs. But... you know what? I was going to give it to Man City as a whole because of them being 2-0 up and losing it and everything else.
But there's a reason why that, and that was Raheem Sterling.
Raheem Sterling, he was, for as good a season as he's had, he was culpable for the reason why they didn't go on to win that game, especially in the first half. The title, they could have been engraving their name on it at half-time if it wasn't for him. It's as simple as that. So, mug of the week goes to Raheem Sterling, I'm afraid. Mug
of the week, Union Jack, Brexit, mug of the week. Raheem, I can't argue that. I can't argue that. You're right. He's been having a brilliant season, but if there's one player that really needs to redeem himself tomorrow against Liverpool, that's him, isn't it? Dreadful.
You know what? I'm still not writing that tie off. You know.
I was just about to say to you, just as we go, who do you think's going? You think City have got a chance?
I do think Liverpool will go through. I think they will prevail, but I think it will be.
Nah, no chance.
I think that Man City are going to come firing out tomorrow. And you got to think, right, for as bad as they were in the second half, how good were they in the first half? And if they go at Liverpool like that, and it's, you know, Manchester United had nothing to lose in that second half except pride. So they had to just go out and do it.
I think that if Salah is, Salah's fit. Like, listen, even if Salah ain't fit, 3 goals.
All Liverpool need to do is get a goal.
And Liverpool going to score. Liverpool always score.
Yeah, well, they didn't against Everton.
Yeah, but that was not, it's not the same.
I know, but what I'm saying is, let's just say,
how many
times have we seen this happen in a second leg? Let's think ourselves. AC Milan, 4-0 up, second leg, we're 3-0 up at the Emirates.
That's us.
No, what I'm saying is we're 3-0 up. Do you remember Bayern Munich were...
Liverpool too good.
Do you remember when Bayern Munich were ahead of us and we had to beat them by 3 goals in the Allianz? And they got caught in 2 minds as to how they should approach the game. And we went 2-0 up. And if there was another 10 minutes left in that game...
What happened in the end?
We went out. But that's what did I just say to you? I said that I think that Liverpool will still prevail and go through.
They will.
But I think that Man City are going to cause some problems. I don't think it's done.
Let's ask people in the comments, what do you think? Do you think there's any chance for Liverpool, for Man City to go through?
If Man City score in the first 10 minutes, for example, then what does Liverpool's mindset do? Do they carry on playing? Do they retreat? Do they... This is the problem that a lot of people say that
sometimes score in the first 10 minutes, just chill. Still winning by 3 goals.
Ain't that easy?
You score another goal, you're still chilled. You're still winning by 3 goals.
It ain't that easy though.
If City get a third and equalise, that's when you go for it. They just got to be, all they've got to do is concentrate on defending.
We'll wait and see, because if there's one thing about Liverpool that they've...
Liverpool throw that away,
this season, it is
Klopp would have to Klopp out if they throw that away.
Well, like I said, I do think they will prevail, but I just think it will be a little bit like that. It'll be one of those. I think it'll be a very classic British match.
Okay, listen, we've come to the end of the show today. Don't forget, we was telling you guys about it, the big show that we got starting on Channel 4 on the 19th of this month. Channel 4, we're going to be on there.
Terrestrial TV.
Terrestrial TV, ain't got to pay for it. The last 4 weeks of the season, we're going to be on there with the Real Football Fan Show, which features fans not just from Arsenal, but from all football clubs. So make sure you get involved in that. DT, I want to wish you the best of luck. Really, genuinely mean it from the bottom of my heart with your operation.
Thank you.
Come back fit, come back flying. You know, we're gonna miss you. You know, we're gonna.
God help everyone. You know, I've been at 40-50% of my capabilities. So imagine me at 100%. You think Troops is bad? Jesus.
But no, listen. Go away, get well, take your time. Yeah, don't come rushing back. Yeah, I know you already.
I know we got Newcastle Sunday. I'm not going.
It'd be just like him to try and turn up, you know what I mean, in a wheelchair or something like that.
You know what I mean? Just like.
No. You know honestly, I mean? This is serious.
No, I
mate,
appreciate it.
Honestly,
appreciate it. Seriously,
serious thing. I want you to just, you know, relax. I mean, we're coming towards the end of the season. Be back. You know, you can come back for the Europa League final, hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully, man. That should be the one. That should be the big one. That would be one to come back from. I feel like a player that's going to return from injury, innit? But it's just, thank you to everyone.
You could be back before Santi.
I want to say thank you to everyone that's sent me messages. I've literally had hundreds and hundreds of messages from people wishing me well.
They don't all hate you, you know.
No, they don't. You know what? And it's that's quite surprising, considering I don't like anyone. But it's just You know what? From everyone from all walks of life, from white, black, it doesn't matter what colour they are. Everyone.
What, black people wishing you all the best?
Yeah, man. They'd be like a blood clot, get better brethren and all. No, but you know what? And it's like I've had people from all around the world, different countries, wishing me well, and it's an amazing thing. So thank you.
So we come to the end of the show. As I said, don't forget the Channel 4 show. And also don't forget we're going to be heading to Moscow, right? So don't forget to check out all our videos over there in Russia. We're giving you a chance to be on ArsenalFanTV and give your opinion after the game. All you got to do is WhatsApp your video and hold the camera like this. Send it straight after.